And Jonathan, he tells us he wouldn't change a thing. The pizza shop owner says a gun was pointed at him in the parking lot here. He still decided to follow the suspects with his car until police caught up to them. The engineers gave me some control. These are the eyes of the drone. I'm able to see the video from the camera that's mounted on it. Now, as a bystander, I'll hop in and start doing chest compressions. His chance of survival went up to 40%. Vincent Ackus wanted to share his story of how he was able to survive. He came into this 7-Eleven right here on 8th Street in Northeast early Saturday morning to grab a cup of coffee. He was sleepy. He was finishing up his shift as an Uber driver when a guy came in and pointed a gun at him and 3 others. There were 2 clerks and another customer. The robbery went on for a few minutes, and fortunately the suspect did not fire his gun after taking a drawer of cash and money right out of the hand of another customer.
I saw the gun. I saw him pointing the gun straight at my back, because then when I turned around, he told me it was my face now, and then he said, "Lie down there, lie down there." I said, "Lie down there." I mean, he didn't have to say that too many times. Believe me, I laid down.
And D.C. police are still trying to locate the suspect. Ackus tells us he is alive because he did exactly what the suspect asked of him. Now, coming up at 5, you'll hear what was going on in his mind as he was laying on the ground inside that store. We're live in Northeast D.C. Cheryl O'Connor, ABC 7 News.
That's terrifying. Cheryl, thank you.
Before you pass the sweet potatoes, First Sergeant Vincent Smith with Maryland State Police is making sure you don't go past the speed limit.
The speed limit is 55. I'm pacing this car. We're well over 70 miles an hour.
So he stopped this driver on 495 in Prince George's County.
Gray Ford passenger car.
Nicole Queen's reason for speeding got her out of a ticket. She agreed to talk to us.
I honestly thought it was 65.
She just got off 95 where the speed limit is 65. First Sergeant Smith wrote a warning hoping she slows down.
I do know it is 55 and not 65.
We went on a ride along to see what state police call stepped up enforcement.
It has worked. Our collisions on Route 50 between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. have significantly declined.
Another call out and high speed to reach a domestic incident on the Beltway. He backed off when troopers already had a man in handcuffs. They're looking into the smell of marijuana. On this Thanksgiving Eve, 20 additional troopers will be out after 10 tonight in Prince George's and Montgomery counties, focusing on DUI enforcement. This car is an example of why the move over law exists in Maryland. It was hit just a couple of weeks ago by a suspected drunk driver. The trooper had minor injuries. Move over, slow down, hang up, and don't be a turkey behind the wheel. In College Park, Cheryl O'Connor, ABC 7 News. The blinds drop and all doors are locked. Prentice Christian, the principal at Whitehall Elementary School in Bowie, showed us what happens during a lockdown.
We have hardened the target.
It's all about learning how to turn away a gunman or anyone up to no good. A lockdown at an elementary school in Northern California likely saved lives. The gunman who killed 4 people on Tuesday shot at windows, but when he couldn't get into classrooms, he turned around. Staff put the school on lockdown after hearing gunshots in the area. At schools in Prince George's County, they practice safety drills several times a year. The exterior doors are locked at all times. During a lockdown, the focus turns toward the inside.
The windows are covered, and that our Venetian blinds are down, and that the doors are locked.
The lights go out and these feet in the hallways go behind locked doors. Ernest Haskins has 3 kids who have been through the drills.
They just say they just stay in the classroom and be quiet.
Christian worked in the school system during the D.C. area sniper shootings in 2002. He says even parents can't come into the building during a lockdown.
This generation is out of control.
Christian says he's taking control of what he can for the close to 600 students he protects.
It highlights the importance of the training that's necessary.
In Bowie, Cheryl O'Connor, ABC 7 News. It's a dirty job, but Brian Sanders doesn't mind doing it.
You gave me a nice dirty one.
He's a certified chimney sweeper for American Professional Chimney and Masonry, work that's in demand following weekend house fires.
There's also a brush head that's also stuck inside there that could be preventing the proper flow up the chimney.
You can see it stuck in the flue where Scarlett Utsick likes to burn wood several times a week.
The smoke was coming back a little bit into the house.
There will be no fire for Christmas since her fireplace needs repairs that cost around $5,000. But Utsick might have prevented what we saw over the weekend. A missing brick in the chimney allowed fire to travel into this home on Bramer Circle in Fort Washington. And a malfunctioning fireplace was the cause of a house fire in Ashburn on Friday.
There has been some big fires recently, and I felt that it was time to get it clean.
You may not know there are 3 levels of inspection. The first one is just a visual look. The second sends a camera into the chimney. Now that costs $50 more, but it's most recommended. Sanders says customers should ask to see credentials verifying the chimney sweeper is certified. All that soot isn't good for Santa either. Utsick is putting the joy back over her fireplace.
If you have any suspicion, take it from me, do not relight it.
In Northwest Washington, Cheryl O'Connor, ABC 7 News. You really have to take a close look to see the tires turning. Simply glancing at the stones from Constitution Avenue during the morning rush hour doesn't do it. It's moving day for the lockkeeper's house.
Approximately traveled at somewhere less than a mile per hour.
Within 30 minutes, it arrived 50 feet away, still on the National Mall at 17th Street.
We really think of this project as creating a new gateway to this portion of the National Mall.
If you say, what is the lockkeeper's house? You're in good company.
No, I'm not familiar with it.
But chances are you've passed it. It used to sit really close to busy Constitution Avenue with buses passing by. Moving it back gives it more breathing room. What was inside came down. Back in December, we showed you the tiny rooms that once housed the lockkeeper and his family when Constitution Avenue was a canal.
The lockkeeper definitely lived there, and it was his job to take the tolls as the boats came down the canal.
The National Park Service says the house will be the entrance to Constitution Gardens.
It's been a house that's been boarded up for 40 years. It's time to make it accessible to all the visitors on the National Mall.
Contractors still have to rebuild the bottom of the house using original rocks before lowering it onto the foundation.
I'm going to go home and study on the lockkeepers.
And the inside will get a makeover before it opens to the public in the spring. On the National Mall, Cheryl O'Connor, ABC 7 News.